Yeah, well, we put together something that was really special to us. It's about us telling a story on how we view things, products, events. It was our style. It's everything about us wrapped up into one. Something people can relate to. They can reach out to us and talk to us. This is us. This is Lifestyles Defined. This is TTL. Yo, it's good, man. My name is Ramon.
I am Juwan.
We talking Nokia
The boys are back.
Lumia 1020. I heard people complaining about the name.
No, Nokia has always utilized numbers for their phones.
It's fine, right?
And until they went to the N90, the N series,
70s and things. Yeah,
it's always been a number. I have no problem with it.
all right. So we rocking with the name.
The name is fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's get the boring / negative things out of the way first. Same processor as the 920 and 925,
Right.
which is a 1.5 dual core.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And if Windows Phone ain't struggling, then it's fine.
It's fine.
This is not Android, people. We don't require 16 cores to launch a text messaging app. They did give it another gig. Another gig of RAM.
I noticed that. It's a 1.6.
No, it's 2 gigs. 2 gigs of RAM. Yeah. So I feel like this got something to do with that. A lot of the fun stuff in the camera, which we'll get to in a minute.
Right.
Because that looks pretty beefy.
I mean, to support that camera, that monster sensor,
Yeah. You need a lot of hamsters under there. So
you need that.
no, you know what? Exactly like the 920.
Right.
So no SD card. No Bluetooth 4.0.
And not needed because I believe they upped it to a 64.
No, it's 32 still.
Internal?
It would be
32.
nice if they give 64 both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say bring it.
Some people complain there's no LED light still.
Right.
I'm on the fence with that. I use it sometimes. What the hell? I don't know. I hear the phone is vibrating. I get it. Whatever.
It's not needed.
Right. Here's one thing. I wonder how you feel about this. No wireless charger.
Well,
And this starts to cut into the positives.
right. It's not too much of a positive only because there is a case that goes onto it. It's the slim style case,
Right.
which acts as a wireless charger. They did what they did with the 820. They are doing with
Right.
this. So
Right.
in order to have wireless charging, you need the case, which
Right.
it's not that.
I
much
do
of
enjoy
that
wireless
idea.
charging because I get home and all you do is just drop the phone on the thing.
Right. And
But what I will say is they managed to get it slimmer
right.
than the 920.
Right, and they even said with this slim charging case, it's still
A little bit
relatively slim.
Right.
So
I feel like I get that part, and you already see the housing on the back of this thing.
right.
That plus wireless charging might have been thicker than the 920. So I think it was some good decisions made here.
Right, and it wouldn't lay flush.
No, it wouldn't.
So
it wouldn't.
I understand totally why they went with how they went.
All right. So along with the actual specs, the screen size is the same.
I thought it should have been bigger.
Okay. Why?
4.8. I believe that when the features of the actual camera is when you take a picture, you can bring it so close that you can see the detail in the actual picture. I mean, I've always been bigger, better. So on a bigger screen, you can now you have more room to 4.5. And I'm not saying that's a bad size. I just thought that a sweeter spot would be 4.8. You don't need a 5 inch for that, but 4.8, 0.3, it would have been a little bit better.
Do you notice a difference between? Are you starting to notice your 920 phone feels smaller than your Galaxy?
Yes.
Then I see where you're coming from.
Yes. It's a comfortable 4.5, but when you use a 4.8 more than you use the 4.5, you see the difference.
You start to I can get with that. I still haven't adjusted to my HTC One,
right?
Because the power button's at the top, so it becomes a chore to use. My Lumia is breezy, so maybe your power button on the Galaxy on the side, so that makes sense.
Right.
Okay.
So,
But still the same resolution.
Yeah.
Still the same. Well, we get Gorilla Glass 3.
Yeah. Well, I've never been a fan of Gorilla Glass because at any time if you drop your phone on the right spot, it's a wrap.
Yeah. No matter what you do, if you drop it, it's a wrap. All right.
It just is what it is.
So here's the exciting part. The camera.
41 megapixels. There was something that I thought that was interesting about using high megapixel shooters. Nokia, first of all, got it right. This is their first, in a way, 41 megapixel shooter. There was the PureView.
Right.
But remember the HTC Titan had 18 megapixels.
Yeah.
They just didn't know what to do with that.
Right, they just crammed it. It was
there, and that was a wrap.
Right.
It was just for bragging rights.
Right.
Nokia got it right.
So, and here's why I love technology. Mm-hmm. There's two people in the industry that arrived to a solution for a problem from different angles.
Right.
So very briefly, HTC. HTC decided, we're not playing the megapixel game. Instead, we'll find a way to cram more pixels in that one pixel.
Thus
to get you a sharper image. People don't understand that.
Right.
Which is why you tell them it's only a 4 megapixel camera. They're like, wait, what? But like, it doesn't matter. A 4 megapixel camera is enough for you to view on your computer screen at full size and be like, oh, it's a good picture. So Nokia now, again, better pictures is the problem. Here's their solution. We'll take they're both extremes.
Right.
We'll take a 41 megapixel shooter and they do what's called oversampling. So it takes a 41 megapixel image and crams it down into like an 8 megapixel image.
Right.
So what does that mean? The video you're watching now. If you watch a YouTube video at home on the computer in the browser,
right?
Your browser is yay big. You've got the videos right here. It's very small. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Details are crazy. But the minute you hit full screen,
blow it up.
It's like, So Nokia reversed that. Let's take the full screen and cram it into that little itty bitty. Boom, crispness. But it gets better. So there's a lot of technology behind this. It takes two shots, sort of like DSLRs take a RAW and a JPEG at the same time. So this takes whatever image you take and the entire 41 megapixel image. So you always have the ability to go back now and zoom in and zoom out.
Right. And focus on one particular spot.
Yes.
And one thing that really impressed me is that ability to bring the picture in so close and retain detail.
They call it lossless detail. Yes.
Right. One of the things that
because it's still a 41 megapixel shooter.
The speaker of the conference stated, no more blurred pictures.
How many? 6.
Yeah.
6 lenses.
Six lenses.
So it gets just more and more dope from here. Like, aside from the whole lossless thing,
right?
There's a physical shutter. There's a physical shutter on this camera. So there's the image. Did you see that image?
Yes.
Where the guy was jumping over the bar. First of all, it was a low light image. Second of all, the dude was in motion and it was beautiful. Now that's what a physical shutter does for you. You get that shutter speed. Now that brings into what was it called? Nokia Camera Pro.
Right.
Here's something that I think that was very genius on their behalf. They gave you SLR type control over the camera.
Everything on screen.
Beautiful. And it had a nice UI to it.
Yeah.
Really nicely done. And it's coming to Lumia's 920s and 925s.
Nice.
So Nokia is doing the damn thing. But images were beautiful. Loved it all. Video got better.
Video got awesome.
Video got better. And there was some more magic behind this. So you can zoom up to 7x.
Right.
So see if you could stomach this. If you zoom in up to 4x, it's still recording at 10 1080p.
Right.
When you get past 4, anything between 4 and 7, it kicks it down to 720p.
Right.
But the videos is still one seamless transition, and you still maintain your quality.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It wasn't doing that on a 920.
Wow.
Even though the videos remained,
right.
You pretty much just didn't adjust. You didn't zoom in on a 920, but that's the difference between a physical shutter and a non-physical shutter.
Exactly.
You know,
there's a bunch that they put in there.
Yeah.
And then there's the a nice little camera grip accessory, which we're gonna use because we got to record a few episodes with that thing
all the way.
We putting it to work when we get it.
Yeah, and that on the actual camera grip, it was rumored that no one could confirm if it actually had a battery into it, or that it actually does.
Nice.
There's a battery check LED light on it, and you know when it's full, when it's not. It connects into the USB port of the device. Okay. From a visual perspective, had the little rubber grip on it, and the shutter button. It's actually an extension to the actual phone shutter button.
That's dope.
There was no everything was seamless with it. You drop it in and do your thing.
That's dope because I think that grip will actually help with reducing shake. Which, by the way, is cause I think they replaced the springs with some ball mechanisms.
Yeah,
which even got better. But listen, Nokia did work.
They did. They made a community of would-be photographers. They made them that much more better and that much more apt to take more pictures. It's this Instagram world, so it works.
I'm digging it. Especially, here's the thing: who's this for? I can't see someone dropping their Galaxy 3, and I say 3, not 4,
right,
to this, unless pictures is important. Because they would have already done so for like a Lumia 920 or 925, which still isn't a bad move.
Right.
But I feel like this is not one of those things where you say, "Oh, I gotta have it." Samsung did that with the 1,000,001 features. People had to have it.
You had to have it.
The new iPhone, whatever that is, you have to have it. I don't feel like there's, unless you're a picture person, you got kids running around, then this starts to be like, whoa. Yeah. That's a big deal right there.
If you're into photography, you're into the whole Instagram, the whole everything picture life, Flickr, so on and so forth. This is for you. This might very well actually prevent me from getting the Samsung NX. So even though it's almost apples and oranges, but
it's just the level of control you have over the camera may be just enough.
It's that much more control on top of it's a phone.
Yeah, you don't have to walk with something else. I think that's my biggest. I can't wait. So here's the killer, and this is why I really applaud Nokia for this. This thing is 2 weeks away.
Yeah,
July 26th, $300.
I'll be selling something.
This is some Samsung like shit because only Samsung's got this in the. Their supply chain is crazy. They announced something today. Tomorrow it's out because they can do that. I'm happy to see Nokia held off until it was relatively close. Because even Apple doesn't do that anymore.
But it surprised me.
It did. I was shocked as hell.
Because I actually expected a Q4 release. That's normal. Yeah. So now it makes me wonder what's coming out.
I get this before my Xbox, so I got something to play with.
Right.
So what about the price?
$300. I mean, if this is with contract, I think it might be a little pricey considering, the prior Nokias were only $99, $100.
But let me ask you this: how much was your Galaxy?
The Galaxy was $199.
For what? How big?
For
32.
For 16.
It's 32 gig phone.
Right. I mean, there are the upsides to it. All right. 300 again. If it's clearly. I doubt that it's 300 without contract.
No, it's 300 with contract.
So
it's subsidized.
Would I do it? Yeah, I'd do it.
I feel like the person that's drooling over this phone understands this camera. They understand this is something that will not show up anywhere else in the industry for at least another year or so.
Right.
So they'll pay that money because at that point, it's a premium device, and it's valid outside of anything else. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, it is.
So
I thought, in only point that I have with the camera grip, I thought it should have been bundled with the device.
that would have been dope. That would have been
For
dope.
the price, it should have been bundled with the device.
I can see where you're coming from with that. That would really help sell it.
Yeah.
So let us know. Is the price too much? Is the price just right? Is that camera not the business?
And is it for you?
Is it for you? Why? Why not? Holla.